let's be real, right? Like, once all this dust settles, like Eric's under a lot of pressure. Like, he's got to deliver. Like, he's got to deliver on a lot of stuff. I'm not saying it like it's a shock. This isn't a surprise. Like, he knows this. We think it. We want it. We know it. You know, the style of play and how we build up, how we play football consistently, especially if he's got his players fit.
Mm-hmm.
We have to start seeing that. Obviously, not instantly. I'm not going to say like, oh, in the first 2 games of the season, if I don't see back-to-back wins with, playing absolute Barca-esque football, it was the wrong decision. I'm not saying that. He has to get the whole season to see, And also, we are getting in new players as well. Someone like Joshua Zirkzee is going to be his first, if it is him, first season in the Prem. He's young. We still have to have these levels of not composure, patience with new things. Ineos are still finding their feet. Dan Ashworth, Omar Barada, Jason Wilcott's still getting their feet on the table, etc., etc. There's a lot changing, so we do need to allow. Like I think KG said it in the Trinity, like that. We've pressed the reset because Ineos are new, but Eric's time is still kind of going. But it has got a bit of a caveat because he's working in a way that's different. Players
are different again,
but
it hasn't. You know what I mean?
His original plan,
he
might have had to sort of detour from it now and go, I'll tell you what, I'm going to have to be a little bit more,
because someone's telling me I've got to do that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because you get Jason Wilcox go to him, mate, don't do that anymore. You know what I mean? Let's change. You gotta get results. So,
and we're not saying that like he doesn't have a voice and he's sort of this puppet who's just going to do doing everything that is told to him, but like it has changed. So, but that taken all into account doesn't just give Eric a pass of like, well, it's all changed now. So no, we have to start seeing some stuff. But again, most importantly, it is results. But the results are harder to judge. Progress is harder to judge if just the results are good and we're just nicking games because they're end to end, but we just outscoring teams. That won't make you feel like, we're going in the right direction now to challenge and get. It won't. The thing that will make us feel better about watching us is like the style of play. Are we imposing ourselves more often than not? Do we create the same type of chance? Do we build up in the same type of way? Are we playing in a way that before the game even starts, I know what we're going to do? That's the things that if you get that, the results will come anyway. If you do that, because then you buy the right players, they will come. It's if we're still scattergun like, okay, well, we were under the cosh for like 15 minutes there. Bang, Rashford just cut in and scored. We won 2-0 in the end. But and I'm not being miserable here. I'm not trying to get pessimistic before the season started. Someone's like, oh, you're at it again, Mr. Negative. You're just saying
phone calls,
so you're basically saying we're gonna win games, but you're not gonna be happy because we didn't play, because at the end of the day, when we've all been there, Owen, we won. Like remember when we was we was all in the studio, us and Steph were all having an argument because Scott McTominay came off the bench and scored the winner against Villa. It was Villa.
Wow, which ones? You know, I mean, this season, but I think Villa.
Quite
a
lot.
Villa one
it was the Villa one, but she was like, I don't care. He shouldn't be there. He's not good enough. But we're like, I know that, but we've literally just won. Like, what do you want him to do? Like, he's come on, he's done his job. But the bigger picture of actually what she means is like, we need better than that. Like, overall, can't rely on that.
Yeah, I think what people will be looking for, like if you cast your mind back to the beginning of last season, coming out of the preseason tour, it wasn't that positive because we played some matches and we hadn't played amazing. We played well against Arsenal in the first one, but against Real Madrid, we got pretty much outclassed and Kobe got hurt. And then we played Dortmund and we were like, we weren't that great against Borussia Dortmund. It was
terrible.
You know what I mean? And we were sort of coming into the season, we feel a bit cold, and a lot of the transfer business again was late. We got Højlund through, but he's injured, he can't play for a while. We got Amrabat final day. We've already played a couple of games here. It felt a bit cold. Then we played that first game against Wolves, and it was like, we won, but this team only got their manager 10 days ago, and they were the better team, and this was Old Trafford. Like, it just felt a bit, everything just felt a bit off. And then obviously our second game of the season, away game against Spurs, and we were like, right, we didn't beat a top 6 team away from home last season, but now we're going to do it. And then we lost them, and actually Spurs, it wasn't even that great that day. It just felt like we never started, really, did we? And then I think the game after that was Forest, when we're 2-0 down after like 10 minutes or something, and we come back and win 3-2, and the next game's Arsenal. So like when they scored 2 in the last minute and it's 3-1. So like it just never felt like it got going, did it? You know what I mean? It was always just transfers, results, performances, and then we were always catching up, and it just never started. And I think that maybe fans would be hoping for and looking for just when the season starts. We're going through pre-season, watching it going, are we playing better? Yeah, we're playing a bit better here. Okay, that's cool. Transfers, are we a bit settled? Yeah, we're a bit settled here. And then when that first game of the season comes, you go, actually, yeah, that performance was a bit.
It looks different.
That was a bit better. I think just the mood and the feeling, I think initially was what people would be looking for. Just going, can we just be a bit optimistic? Because we never really got the chance to be optimistic last season because
not at all.
Because it just never started. It never started. Like with the tour, with the transfers, with injuries, with results, with performances, it never got started, did it? And I think that's maybe what people will be hoping for this season. To get going, and I really do hope that is the case, because there was, you look at Eric's first season, there was some obviously negativity with how that season started, but that quickly did turn into positivity, and results were going together, and we were like, actually, we're going up there in the league and we're winning games.
Everyone says there was no style of play, we were just winning games. Like it wasn't good football, like just counter attack, no style of play. And I don't know, I think back to that first season. There were some things that we saw. We saw how reliant we were on, Martinez with how he was. We were playing out from the back. We did have inverted fullbacks. We did have a bit of a style of play.
I remember when we played Spurs at Old Trafford in Ten Hag's first season, and we were brilliant that day. And Spurs it was a Conte ball, it was totally defensive, but we dominated the ball that day and won, I think, 2-0. And people forget, again, with that Spurs team at the time, they actually started that season off all right. I think they were like third, not like a few points off the second and top, which was City and Arsenal at the point. We were like, oh, actually, this is a really good result. So, yeah, like I said, I think people will be looking at, can we be a bit more consistent in terms of our style of play? But all of that stuff, that's like 2 or 3 points down the line. I think before we get there, it is like, okay, what are we going to do in the transfer market? Are we going to be any different? Because if you're looking at the transfer window, if we operate the same as we've operated the last 2 or 3 years, then we shouldn't expect anything different later on down the line, should we? If everything's going to stay the same, we're going to be really late in the transfer market and really, delayed. That's going to affect tour and preseason. That's going to affect the start of the season. Then we're just going to end up in the same spot, aren't we?
100%.
So it's got to start off right to end up right the same way, really. So I think that's why maybe people are looking towards the transfer window going, right, can we do some business early? Can we have not just one player on tour? Can we have 2? Can we have 3 players on tour? Can we by the time tour ending, can we go, actually, we're not really going to do any more business because we've done it all? Can we do that?
There would be that. I mean, I know people, listen, we're not happy about it going into bloody deadline day, going, oh, please get us something or this, that, and the other. But yeah, that right there of just being able to close the books before, close of play, that would be just brilliant. People like Liverpool do that kind of stuff all the time. Get players in early.
Well,
don't have to go into.
Last season was quite crazy for them, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, to be fair, because the chase with the Caicedo thing, then they had to bring in quite a lot. But in seasons gone by, so many other teams are just fine, and we're just scramping away trying to.
Or you've started the season so well, you go, we don't need any. Look how we started. See, we've won every game at the start of this. We don't need any more players. What are we talking about?
A luxury.
It's fine.
What a luxury.